my goodness, this is awful!
Hey viewer, this is your Royal Majesty, the CDI Queen, and the CDI Princess currently in utero. If you haven't been following my recent content, then let me get you up to speed. My latest endeavor has been pursuing certain speed runs with Laser Lords to see how many side quests, items, and things like that I can trim off the game to beat it as quickly as possible. Right now, it has come in a little over 2 hours, and I intend to redo this and try to get it under 2 hours, which I think is a perfectly reasonable goal. It's been a little ways in the making because I came up with my first draft of a possible walkthrough on what I could leave out well over a year ago. So it's exciting to finally have this come to fruition and also find out that most of my theories were right on point. You may recall I have spoken before about the legitimacy of the necessity to pursue the entire Gongor's Crown side quest. And I will tell you, you don't need to do it. In fact, there's not really any benefit to doing it at all. So if you want a really, really in-depth run-through of what you don't need to do and what you do need to do, I'm going to direct you to actually watching my speed runs. Right now, I have a live stream that I did. That's the one where I came in a little over 2 hours. And I also have one with no commentary that I attempted first. It was my first run. That's in 5 parts on my YouTube channel. I will break down a little bit what you do need, and then I'm going to discuss what you don't need. What you do need does depend a little bit on what your discretion is. For example, the virtues. So, each planet has its set of virtues. You're not required to learn all of them, despite the fact that the game makes you think that you do. Now, that being said, every time you learn a set of them, you do gain health, and you do need that health for Ravana, because you will get your ass kicked by these enemies while you're fighting them. But it's really up to you how much health you need, and there's a couple that I'm going to choose to omit. Although, most of them are not really all that inconvenient to get, and it just makes sense to scoop them up while you're there. The commercial code from Argos, you may think you need it, and I think you really do. However, it is not required to recite it to Thorax in order to get past him. All you need to do is give him the face. But I don't recommend skipping that, because I think that was kind of my downfall in when I was doing my live stream speed run, because when you do recite it, you get that last code of Sarpedon, and you will earn some health, and you will have more health to continue on. And I think that's what tripped me up on my live stream. So again, it's not required, but it's definitely a good idea. So I'm going to strongly recommend you do it. It's also not that hard to get the commercial code, because you're basically going to all of those places anyway. And I really do think you have to get the Sooth songs, because that's how you are going to get the Tecton poem to give to the frog on Wu to get the Lotus, which you do need to make Elixir. What I haven't tested is if you can get the same result by giving him Tantalia's poem that she gives you. You do need to collect the 4 stars of virtue. That is a requirement, because you won't be able to get past your doppelganger at the very end without being able to recite the Voidal Murmurs. Again, these are easy. You pick them up along the way. You have to go to Wu anyway, because that's the only way to get the Golden Fleece, to get the Condensation Crystal, to be able to win the game. So Wu absolutely is a necessity. What you don't need to do. You don't have to do anything related to the Gongor's Crown quest. And there's a lot of parts to this, which is relatively misleading because Zendo, when you go to Tecton, his advice even includes making contact with the variable, but making contact with the variable is literally only to get the Auroran shield so that you can talk to the Gongor. Everything related to the entry chip, the ball of string, all of those things are completely unnecessary. They don't even get you anywhere. All it does is have a feel-good ending to Lexendollar's power, but you won't gain anything. That being said, you don't have to get the Sooth Stone from Seb. You don't have to give it to the Hive Queen. All that's going to do is restore your lives, which, if you are a seasoned player who is speedrunning it, you don't need any extra lives at all. So that is not required, but you still get something for it, unlike the Gongor. And it also completes that plot, which is something to be said about Laser Lords. I think this game, and what I've discovered doing these speedruns, it's really a testament to world building. All of these little side quests that are unnecessary do engage you in the plot and teach you more about the characters and those planets. By trapping Lexendollar in the Gongor's mirror, by giving the seed of Sysis to Lita to cure Fornax of the toxic gas, it's not accomplishing anything in the game to win it, but it is completing parts of the story so you know what may happen in the future. And yes, the seed of Sysis is not necessary to win the game, which means going to Hive is not necessary to winning the game. It is a lot of extra steps just to earn that royal jelly and then an extra crystal of health, which is not necessary. So you can trim the fat off of Hive completely, which means you don't have to do anything with the Oxidator or the Jetpack or the Yo-Yo.
Get out of my path, you yo-yo!
Anything like that. The Fogger, you don't need it. You can skip it. And you know, there's something that I find really, really interesting about this is even the GameFAQs walkthrough that's out there includes pursuing a lot of these side quests that are not necessary. So I think they've done a really good job at putting all of these red herrings in there for us for the purpose of world building or throwing us off track, making the game bigger. I don't know why they did it, and we may never know because the late great Dale DeSharon is not here to answer these questions. But I know if he were, he would be really impressed with what I've been able to uncover.
You have received the thing